Hello, I'm Chris Ossman, and this is Solutions. Enough complaining, let's fix America. I've previously done a video talking about the abstraction that trillions of dollars must represent to the majority of people in America. And I did this to basically point out how insane the fact that the Federal Reserve is printing up trillions and trillions of dollars to give away to the wealthy while our government ignores the plight of the majority of the people in this country during the pandemic. America is the richest country the world has ever known, and there is no way in hell that the people of this country should be denied the emergency relief that they need to get through this pandemic. Actually, there was no way in hell that the people should be impoverished in this nation. There should not have been one single billionaire until every man, woman, and child were taken care of with food, water, and clothing and shelter. Now, we live in a society where people lionize the billionaires and they demonize the poor, especially poor people of color or immigrants or people who have no control over anything in our nations, in this nation. Now, there's a problem with that because when you have people being blamed who have no control over anything, when you blame those people, it's nothing more than a distraction for the people who have higher stations in life than those who are at the bottom. Think about it. If you're super poor, you get demonized. If you're on any kind of welfare or food stamps or any kind of government assistance, they call you a welfare queen. When in reality, the people that receive the greatest subsidies in this country are the rich. Look at how much money they've made since the pandemic. A few weeks ago, it was $456 billion that had gone to the rich, over the richest people in this country since the pandemic made everybody quarantine. Meanwhile, they've given us $1,200, a one-time payment that is supposed to last us for what, 3 months, 2 months even? It doesn't make sense. So this is what I plan to point out with this graphic that should be on the screen now. Basically, I'm looking at how much everybody got in their stimulus package. It was $1,200. It was a one-time payment. And this is how long it would take to count to $1,200 if you counted each dollar per second. Next, if in America before the pandemic, 44% of working Americans were only making $18,000 per year. This is how long it would take to count to 18,000 per second if you counted $1 per second. Now, given that $1,200 that each of us was handed in a form of a check or a direct deposit, it would amount to, if every American got one of those $1,200 checks, that would equal to $420 billion given out in an emergency relief package if everybody got $1,200. So this is how long it would take to count to $420 billion. Now, mind you, the rich, the super rich, like Jeff Bezos, they got more than $420 billion. They got $456 billion. So this is how long it would take for them to count out that money. Now, the previous video that I did on the abstraction of $1 trillion, it went to $1 trillion. So this is how long it would take to count out $1 trillion. But that's not where our Federal Reserve is stopping. They're continuing to print more and more money. So to date, they've given out $4 trillion, maybe more by now, to the richest companies and corporations without any oversight, because all the videos, they never have oversight over all these big dollar amounts that they give to corporations. But for you and me, we have to pay taxes on this stuff normally. So $1 trillion. So now let's just say they've given out $4 trillion. It's probably exceeded that by the time this video is released. So here's how long it would take to count $4 trillion. Now, America is in debt The entire country of America is in debt to the tune of 26 plus trillion dollars. So guess how long it would take to count $26 trillion? Never mind. Here's a graphic of it. And the entire planet of Earth has a debt of $250 trillion. Now, who do we owe this debt to? It doesn't make any sense that we owe so much money, more money than they could even print in actual physical dollars. We owe this much money. Who do we owe this to? Is it aliens or something that we're indebted to? Because this doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to you, but I'm having a hard time believing that this debt should continue to exist. What we need now is a debt jubilee, because it's gotten way out of hand. It's become an abstraction for most people. So we need to get rid of this debt, and we need to start over, because this is unsustainable and it's dangerous, and it gives way too much power to people who seem to never show any real concern for the people of this planet or the planet itself. Wealth kills, and the proof of this is in the fact that capitalism in America required that you either choose to go back to work and face the possibility of catching COVID-19 yourself, or giving it to a loved one, surviving, and then living with the survivor's guilt of having killed one of your loved ones, and the other choice being to stay at home and your family starve to death because you don't have any income. Think about it. Join me again for another Solutions and Enough Complaining. Let's Fix America. The next topic I'm going to discuss is the surveillance state. I have a very good video to link to that talks about the surveillance state over the past 20 years and how it's growing exponentially and growing out of hand, and how we need to stop it, especially if you plan on protesting things, because your privacy is not only not guaranteed, it's actually being eliminated and diminished by the day by companies like Facebook and Google. So join me again for another Solutions Enough Complaining. Let's Fix America.